let's say we wanted the hook to switch with the verse, and we wanted this entire hook section to be where the verse is and vice versa. We could come to a section, right, and right click on hook, and we can tell it move right or move left. Let's move it right. Boom. Yeah, so I probably did the worst thing possible by having this next to me in the studio. I don't know why I did it. I installed Call of Duty on my computer, and having that control next to me is not good. It's not productive, and you know, I got to get rid of it. But in today's video, we're going to get into something that's been asked about a lot, which is beat arrangement. I probably get asked about this in every tutorial I post. People tell me to post another video talking about arranging beats and how I do it. And I have an old one, but they wanted an updated version. So today we're gonna have to do that. Imagine I just sat here and spun in circles. Let's see how many I can do. Hold on. Okay. This is not stopping. I feel like when I was little, I used to stop so fast, and it's not stopping. All right, so as you can see, the playlist is empty. So the first thing that I recommend on the channel rack is always having these named. As you can see, it's real easy. I have keys, flute. This one I spelled wrong, so let's fix that. Then we have, you know, the kick, 808. Everything's nice and easily named. So in the playlist, like I said, it's empty. We're going to come over here, and you'll see that we have everything here as it should be. Now, the cool thing that you can actually do is rearrange these before you go ahead and drag any of these in. And what I mean by that is, let's say we had like a guitar down here, right? And we wanted to have, like, I like to have it all my melodies, keys, guitars, whatever, all first, and then drums second. I do kick, then 808. But if we had some that were down here on the first arrangement that we did, you can actually just select it and then hold shift, and with the mouse wheel you can go up, and then we can move these up and start to arrange them how we want them, so that when we actually drag them into the playlist, it's already ordered for us. So what we could do right here is come and press shift. So click the top one, click the bottom one. Now we could hold alt and drag all these in. So I'm just going to make sure this is all correct. So this is everything in the beat. As you can see, I have a different couple roads because I created another one for the verse, and I think I probably just turned down velocity. I was being lazy for that. I didn't want to automate it. Shout out to the mic stand. Every single video, I got to buy a new one. But this is the entire beat. Like I said, there's a second Rhodes verse, so it's kind of sounding cluttered. So everything that's in the beat is playing now. So almost all of this is going to be on the hook, and I'm going to take away some for the verse, and then we're going to make some things unique. But besides all that, the first thing we need to focus on is how long we want the hook to be, right? Because this is everything right here that I'll have on the hook besides this, which we'll take out for the verse. So if I go over, this is an 8-bar, right? And we're at about 12 seconds for this. For a hook, that's going to be too short. So it really depends on what BPM you're at, because if we were to be all the way down here at, let's say, like 80, so let me just switch this now. Now you see we're at 18 seconds, right? Or I didn't even go to 80, I went to 90. So let's go down, let's just say 82. Now we're at 20 seconds. When we're all the way up at 143, it's moving quicker, it's counting faster. Now we're at 12 seconds. That'd be way too short for a hook. So what I'm going to do is have my hook be 16 bars. So how you can count them is, you see 16 here, 16 needs to count out 1 2 3 4 right before 17 starts. So it would actually go all the way to right here, would be the end of the 16th bar. This is the start of it, right? So you'll see that we have a 16 bar hook, and that's good. Now you'll see that we're about 26 seconds. It's a longer hook. It's the most important part of the song. So I'm happy with that. That's good. And I want my verses to probably be about a minute long. So what I'll do for that is just have a 32 for the verse. So it really just depends how you want it. Some people like 16s. They like a quick verse, even though it's a fast tempo. But for me, I like to have it be doubled. So if this were to be in halftime, I would be running 8 and 16. For this, I'm running 16, 32. So the first thing we're going to do is say that this is the hook, and we can bring this over here, right? And I'm going to make sure to get rid of this Rhodes right here. Let me see what these are. I think these are the same. I just switched them as well. Yeah, so they're just different pitches. So I think we'll just run one like this and one like that, so they'll switch up. So this is going to be the hook. Right now we need to have some type of intro. Over here, I definitely want this beat to start off with just a Rhodes, so I think I'll go with this one. Let me see what this one sounds like. So I think I like how the second one sounds best. So for the intro, I'm just going to do an 8-bar into it. It really depends. I'm not going to build up too much. I just want it to have like a quick Rhodes and then go into the hook. So I'm going to have it run like this. Now I'm going to show you easy ways to really organize and learn and see visually how you can, have this work and be able to see where the intro is, where the hook is. So the cursor is right here in the beginning of the beat, right on the first bar. I'm going to go over here and I'm going to go to time markers and I'm going to put add one. And then I'm going to put intro. Now you see it added this little layer under here. So now we can actually right click here. We can't right click right here. It won't work. It has to be this line right here. This is for time and timestamps. So we have intro, right? So now we could easily see where the intro is. Now we can come over here to the hook, which starts on the 9th bar. So right after the 8th bar ends, boom, on the 9th bar where it starts, we're going to add a marker. So we could just right click, add marker, and we will call this hook, right? So let me show you some cool things you could do with these. If we go over here and right click on one, you see that we have all these different actions, right? So let's say on the hook, we wanted to start recording, right? So we can come over to this hook part and we could put action and we could say punch in recording. So what that's going to do is right when it comes over this timestamp that we put, it's actually going to start recording. So nothing's going to be happening. Watch the record button. And then once it goes over hook, it's going to start recording. And now it'd be enabled to record. So if you wanted, at the beginning to be rapping, but not have it recorded, only record when the hook comes in or have a punch in, you can utilize timestamps like that, which is really cool. So right here, I'm just kind of stylizing the hook and making sure that I like how it sounds. I didn't want that guitar to play twice. So now what I'm going to do is start to actually create my verse. So I'm going to come over here and I'm actually going to take all of this over. The immediate thing that I want to do when it drops into a verse is get rid of a lot of the elements so that the verse vocal is heard, because that's where, main parts and very intricate parts are told when the verse comes in, right? So what I'm going to do is actually take out a lot of this and just leave room for the vocal so it can really focus in and you'll know it's the verse. So I'm actually going to take out the keys, the flute. Let's see what else. I'm probably just going to run it with the Rhodes. I'm going to take out the kick and let's see how this drops in so far. And actually, I have the Rhodes verse over here, so that's what we're going to use. So we don't need this one. We need the Rhodes verse here, just like that. And I'm going to come over here again, and I'm going to add a marker, and I'm going to call this verse. So now you could see that we went intro, hook, and then we came down to verse. So let's go ahead and see how we want to arrange this. Sounds good. Let's bring in the kick right here. Let's do this. Let's see. Sounds good. Keep it nice and simple. Let's bring in the keys again. Let's see. I got to move all these over. I kind of messed that up. And for the keys, what I actually want to do is come in here, make unique, and I want to take out these quick little top melodies and just have it be chords. And that will make it sound a lot better. So let's see. And then maybe we could bring in this weird part that I have called weird. Spelled wrong. I like how that sounds. So we got another 8 to do. So let's bring this over here to make this 32. And I actually want to cut out the kick again, and I actually want to cut out the hi-hat as well. And now we got to figure out how we're going to get back into the hook. Let's cut the drums right here. There's no right or wrong way to do this as long as the arrangement is correct. Maybe take the keys out. And then let's make this unique, since we could do that a lot of times, and let's just take all of these and bring them up an octave. So let's go control up arrow and let's see what happens. I like to do that a lot too. I like to have the pitch change right before the verse or the hook drops back in, because it just gives it like a nice switch up, and it's not too far from the original sound. So let's see. Let's see how it sounds without the 808. I actually like it better without the 808. All right, so I want to do a quick pause break right here to tell you on these last 8 bars of the verse, you can either have it blend in how I'm doing it, or you can actually kind of use it as a pre-hook at the ending. If you're not going to put another 8 after the 32, you could take from the 24th to the 32nd bar. You can cut out a lot more and maybe just have like the Rhodes and the piano playing and have a riser that goes back in. It just depends. For this specific beat, I didn't want to treat it like that. I just wanted to have it go throughout the whole verse, and then like the last bar or two make everything cut out and then go back into the hook. So all we're going to do is get the hook from right here and drag it over. Remember, we left that gap, so it needs to go right here. Let's see. Perfect. And then come here again and add marker and call this hook. We could call it hook 2. Just to get the structure down, we're going to bring the verse over again and the hook as well, because we're going to do a hook, verse, hook, verse, hook. So let's go like this, and then we'll switch up this verse just a tiny bit. We don't want to go too crazy with this. So we'll call this verse 2. And we have another hook here. So let's do add marker, hook 3. And then we'll have an outro, which we'll figure out in a second. And then we'll just call this outro. Cool. So what I want to do is come over here to the second verse and see. I don't want to switch it too much. I want it to be similar to the first verse, but maybe we could do a couple things. Let's see. Take out the 808 for a little bit. And then bring the kick in. Let's see here. That sounds cool. And then maybe bring the keys in for when the kick hits. And let's see what happens if we pitch it. Let's get rid of this top melody right here. Just do chords. Maybe pitch it up. I like how that sounds too. Let's add in that weird effect right here just on the verse. And then let's bring in that guitar. Let's see if we can bring it over here. Don't want that guitar again. Let's see. Sounding good. And then I want the kick to come in the second part. Like I said, it's all trial and error. Let's try this flute again. I like how that sounds a lot. That sounds dope. So now we could see that we have intro, hook, verse, hook, verse, hook 3, outro. So let's come over to the outro and see what we want to do. Let's go ahead and make unique and just pitch this up. So what I want to do is, again, cut out the top melody. I just want to run with chords, and I'm going to invert a couple of these. So let's do an inversion here. Let's try one here, and make unique on the Rhodes as well, and cut out the top line. So it's chords. Probably do an 8 bar for this. Add a little bit of room so it can fade. And the fade out's there, so that sounds perfect. So from here, a couple cool things we could do if we want to spice it up a little bit more is add some transition effects, or even add inversions. Inversions are always cool. So what I mean by inversions, again, is if we just were to solo these Rhodes to kind of give it a different tone, we can make unique, and then we can come over here and we can invert some. Let's just go random. I'm not even going to pay attention to what I'm doing. I just want to go random and see what it could sound like. This actually sounds pretty good. Let's see. And just that little switch, watch what it's going to do when it transitions in. So I'm going to take this over here like that. This is sounding good, and let's see, we're at about 3.5 minutes, which is good. So like I said, it really depends on how you want to structure it, but for the most part, when we're up at like 130, 140, you're gonna probably be looking at about 16s for the hooks, 32s for the verses, intros, maybe 8s or 16s, depending. 16 can be very long if there's not a lot of changing going, so I'd really just pay attention to the beat and see what sounds good. For this beat, I just wanted a quick Rhodes, so I did an 8-bar intro, 8-bar outro too. It's just extended over a little bit for the time to fade out. But if this was a slower tempo, like let me show you, if we go all the way down here and we're at like 90, this is literally a 5-minute song now, right? Because it's counting slower. So I would have switched these to 8 and 16. But again, it's all preference. But for the most part, this is how it's going to be kind of structured out. But let me show you one of the coolest things about having these timestamps and these markers is you see where we say hook, right? Let's say we wanted the hook to switch with the verse, and we wanted this entire hook section to be where the verse is and vice versa. We could come to a section, right, and right click on hook, and we can tell it move right or move left. Let's move it right. Boom. Now what happened is the hook actually switched over to the right, and now the verse is here. So we can kind of do this quick to see if maybe we want the verse to come in first and then the hook to come in next, right? We could tell it move to the left, and then boom, all it does is move over. So now it's hook and then intro, which is obviously weird, but if you just want to see how the beat would sound starting off like that, you could do it on all these, which is really dope. So it seems like I'm never going to be getting a new mic stand, and I'll be holding this for the rest of the videos. But if you did like today's video, leave a thumbs up. Make sure to go get the free drum kit ammo. Also, I dropped a whole nother free drum kit for you guys on the site. It's for lo-fi beats, so go grab that on the free kit section as well. Remember, you guys can follow me on all social medias at Lifestyle Did It. Make sure to hit my site, lifestyledidit.com, for everything else. Other than that, subscribe to your boy, push notifications. Thanks.